Welcome to my channel. My name is London and today we have a new tinted moisturizer to try out. I did get this one sent to me. This is by YSL. I am not entirely sure of how to pronounce this, but it's called the new Bare Look Tint Tinted Moisturizer. And this sounds right up my alley. If you guys been watching my channel for the last year, I've been very into the no makeup and the dewy makeup, and this is just right up my alley with all of those. So this is what the packaging looks like. It does have a little squeezy tube. I'm not really sure about the color. I feel like it can be a little bit yellow on me. I got the shade New 3 because typically I am the second to fourth lightest color in pretty much all of the foundations that I get, but this is $38 and it is a light to medium buildable coverage with a dewy finish, and it's supposed to be very hydrating. It doesn't have any kind of wear test claims to it that it wears for 10 hours or doesn't go into the lines, or doesn't have any claims like that. A lot of the claims are around the glow and the hydration lasting for a long time. So that's what we're going to be testing out today. This does kind of remind me of one of my favorite tinted moisturizers, is this one, though this one has SPF 35 in it. This one does not have any SPF in it. So I already primed my skin. I just used my Bad Habit Daily Dose multivitamin moisturizer. I'm using this one because this is what I've been using with all of my skin tinted moisturizers for the last couple months, and I am comfortable with that. So with this, I did look it up on Sephora. It does come out on 8/10 online, and it doesn't come in stores until 8/27. I was looking up the best way that they suggest to use it, and it says your fingers, similar to the Sai, however you say the other one. Both of these have the same directions to it, but I still want to kind of try a beauty blender. So let's get into this. I'm just gonna squirt out just a teensy bit. I'm gonna clip my hair back now that I got all these fancy hair clips at my disposal. All right, let's try out the beauty blender. It does feel like it's gonna be like a moussey texture, because when I picked it up off my hand, it has that Hershey Kiss look to it. Let's see. It is blending pretty well with a sponge. I do think the color is gonna be pretty decent. With the description, I kind of thought it was gonna be a little bit dewier than this. If you guys watched my video on the other tinted moisturizer that I keep mentioning, that one is pretty dewy. This one is not as dewy as I thought, but it could be the sponge. But that is the sponge side. I do really like the amount of coverage that this has. I feel like this is kind of the look that I like to achieve, of where it just literally blurs your skin tone and gives you that nice skin-like look. It's all laying down really well on my skin, so I do like that. I do have a couple dry spots, and it is not clinging to the dry spots at all. I'm gonna try and get about the same amount of product, and we're gonna go in with my fingers on the other side. Ooh. Oh, wow. This has a very interesting texture to it with your fingers. I feel like it has a lot more coverage to it to be expected with your fingers. I feel like it definitely has more coverage. I feel like it almost looks smoother on the finger side than it does on the sponge side. You guys let me know. I feel like my pores just look a little bit more diffused and blurred on this side. Could be my imagination. This really feels like a moisturizer. It doesn't really feel like a foundation like the other skin tint that I keep referencing. That one has like a little bit more of a, it just feels more like makeup. And this one, when you initially apply it, it definitely feels like a gel moisturizer. And then as you blend it, it kind of like gets a, almost like a powdery finish. I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to explain. Okay, there is a spot in between my eyebrows that I feel like it's not really wanting to blend all that well. And I feel like on this side, my nose, the dry spots around my nose is not wanting to cooperate with this foundation. And that could be just me. So definitely use less product on the finger side and got more coverage. I'm gonna just take the rest of the product on my hand and just kind of touch up a couple spots on the sponge side. I feel like the coverage is a little uneven. All right, we are done. Let me know which side you like better. I definitely feel like the sponge really helped diffuse like the dry spots that I have, while as with my fingers, I feel like it kind of disrupted the kind of dry nose area I got going on, and it's not really wanting to sit down properly. And this can get better throughout the day, but I just want to show you guys everything that I'm seeing. It definitely doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It feels very light. I wouldn't say my skin feels super hydrated right now. I feel like the glossier skin tint is a lot more hydrating than this one, but this one does have more coverage. I think the color ended up matching pretty well. It's a smidge on the more yellow side, so we'll have to watch and see if throughout the day it gets more yellow. And I do feel like this side of my face with the pores is just a tad bit more diffused. But other than that, everything looks good. It doesn't look like it's going into my lines, and I like it so far. I'm just gonna take a tad bit of my Laura Mercier concealer. I just want to conceal these dark circles that I have. This is the Flawless Fusion Concealer. Lastly, for powder, I'm gonna use the Hourglass Vanish setting powder, and I'm gonna get it on a powder puff and just go around my T-zone. Try not to do too much around my nose because I've had like off and on allergies, and I'm trying not to get my nose to be too dry, and then setting underneath my eyes. All right, and this is what everything is looking like so far. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and do a final check-in, and then we can get into a bit of a wear test. All right, and this is my whole look for today. I did put a little bit of bronzer and a super light amount of blush on, but so far everything is looking really good. The blush is a cream, so it does look a little dewy, but as far as the rest of the face goes with the foundation, I wouldn't really call this a dewy foundation. It definitely is more of a natural finish, maybe even a satin. They do have other products that they're launching with the foundation. So they do have a glow balm that they do recommend using with this tinted moisturizer, and then they have a color corrector, a primer, and a dewy mist. But I definitely think that it is a light to medium coverage. It does feel hydrating when you initially apply it. I'm not feeling very hydrated at the moment, but my skin does feel pretty nice. I feel like it doesn't feel like I'm wearing hardly anything on my face. It does have a little bit of transfer to it, so I would be mindful, but I'm gonna have a bit of a busy day, so we're gonna see how this wears. I definitely want to keep my eye on the nose area because it does look a little dry around that area. So maybe if the natural oils come through, maybe it'll help, or maybe it could get worse. But let's go about my day. It's about 10:30 in the morning, so we'll see how long I'm gonna keep this foundation on for. Okay guys, it literally feels like it's been an entire day. Like I feel like the beginning part of my video was like yesterday, but I have literally been outside all day long, sweating. I got a really bad sunburn, but for not having any kind of wear claims with this foundation, I am pretty freaking impressed with how everything is still on my face, because I literally had sweat dripping off of my face. And I'll probably try and show you guys a video of my face like through the halfway check-in. I just took a quick little video, but I mean still, like, I'm pretty comfortable with what's going on. I feel like I could still wear it for like a good another 4 or 5 hours and it still look pretty decent. It still doesn't feel heavy. I still feel like it doesn't really glow, but my nose also, the like dry spots never really got fixed. It really helped with my oils. I feel like even through sweating, my like oils of my skin never really came through, and my skin doesn't look super, you know, shiny. Also, I got a sunburn on my scalp. So far, I am very highly impressed with this tinted moisturizer. Highly recommend. I have combination skin. I don't think I mentioned that, but if you have like really dry, flaky skin, from what it does around my nose, I'd be a little cautious, but I do feel like more combination and oily skin would like this a lot, because it didn't make me overly oily. It stayed through literally 100-degree weather, humid Texas. So 10 out of 10 would recommend, and I am excited to continue trying it out. But that is it for this video. If you guys want to check out my last video using the Powerpuff Girls collection, that video will be right over here for you guys. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here where you click on it and subscribe to my channel.